Hey house guests, welcome to today's BB Can 6 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Luigi Balancio. Louie, what's up? Thank you for the many years of support. Louie's like an OG. It's freaking amazing. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be a house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so when we left off yesterday, things were not looking great for Johnny. Allie and Liv want to keep him. Maybe. But he needs 4 votes to stay this week, and he would probably have to get Paris and Will, because what are the chances that Maddie and Kayla would flip, right? So Paris and Will, they want to make a Final Four deal with Kayla and Derek, which would mean probably voting out Johnny to please Dayla. I don't think that Final Four is going to stick if Paris and Will decide to vote opposite of what Kayla and Derek want, right? So anyway, Derek and Paris were chatting in the HOH room, and he feels like it's a good, stress-free week. They can just relax because he holds all the power right now since he won the power veto, and he is not planning on using it. So Derek says, oh, I had a really great chat with Will, and Will said he wants to make a Final Four, and Paris is acting surprised like she didn't already know this. Come on. So Paris says, oh yeah, I definitely want to go to the end with you guys, even if I'm going to lose to you, because I just want to see somebody good win. So she's saying, like, there's no way I'm going to win. I don't have a resume. And Derek tells her, you have a social resume. Is this like when you don't have a lot of job experience and you put like all your high school activities and stuff, like, I was the president of the student council in 9th grade. Something like that, because that's what it sounds like. But anyway, Paris asks, where do we stand with Maddie? You know, what's the deal with her? What do we do? Do we bring her to the Final 5? And Derek says, I'll allow it. You know, I'm fine with that. He doesn't say I'll allow it. It's a meme. He says, that's fine. Mom was like, he says, that's fine, as long as their 4 is solid and they're all agreeing, like, we're voting out Maddie at 5. But guess what? There's always that chance that she could win HOH, and I'm sure Paris would love for that to happen, because I think she would definitely prefer to go to the end with with Will and Maddie and not Derek and Kayla, because she would have a way easier chance of beating Will and Maddie. Okay, so then they discuss the eviction order. Derek seems to want Ryan out next. They've been wanting him out for a long time, but they just haven't made it happen. So his ideal triple eviction nominees, if that's ever happening, he would like to see Ryan, Allie, and Liv all up on the block together. And he says they can keep Allie because she's not really a threat. And Paris is like, you know, I think I'd rather see Allie go before Liv, because Liv does not like Maddie. She's going to go after Maddie. Allie is coming after me, and we can't have that, right? So Derek is like, yeah, I see what you're saying. That makes sense. So then Derek says, we just need one of our 4 or Maddie to win the next HOH, and it'll all be good. So then Paris is like, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, it might even be good to take out Liv and Allie before we go for Ryan, because Ryan is not going to come after us, or me. She means me. But Liv and Allie really want her out. So Derek is like, all right, well, you got to do what's best for your game. If you win that HOH, go ahead and do what you need to do. Meanwhile, we've got Allie and Liv chatting out in the hot tub. A lot of them were out in the hot tub yesterday, which was so weird to watch because, like, it was snowing and, like, sleeting and stuff, and they're just, like, in the hot tub wearing, like, wool hats and stuff. So Allie is really nervous that she saw Paris talking to Derek in the HOH room. Girl, you should be nervous and paranoid and all of those things, because she is coming for you. So they're still trying to decide if they want to keep Johnny or Ryan this week. They're not totally sure. It looks like they want to keep Johnny, but they don't know if they can make it happen. So if they do decide to keep him, they're going to have to make sure they have the votes, because 2 is not going to be enough. So they have a couple different plans going on here that they could potentially use to keep Johnny. Plan A, convince Paris and Will to vote with them. If they can get Will, Allie says he'll get Paris. Good luck with that. All right, Plan B. This is a little bit outrageous, and they acknowledge this. Have Johnny approach Dayla have him say that he will target Allie and Liv if they keep him. And then if Kayla votes to keep him and Derek breaks the tie to keep him, then we'll know that Dayla sucks and they're coming for us. So it's also a little bit of a trust test to see where Derek and Kayla really lie. And then, you know, once they're betrayed by them, we can use Johnny to take them out. This seems really, like, silly. How would they explain voting to keep Johnny? You know, it wouldn't really make sense, but Allie says they still have to figure out all the logistics and iron out the details, but it's just an idea that they're floating around. They're still not even totally sure which person is best to keep for their games, so they got a lot of thinking to do. Alright, so then Ryan was talking to Derek in the kitchen, and Ryan asks, safe assumption that the veto's going in the box tomorrow? Derek says, yes. So then Ryan's like, alright, follow-up question. What would you do if it was a tie this week? And Derek is like, I'm going to tell you something right now. Johnny has been my target all week. Does that answer your question? Okay, so he's like, I think most people feel the same way. Johnny is pretty much the obvious target to go this week. Because when are we going to have this chance again? So Derek doesn't even see it coming down to a tie this week. But he basically tells Ryan, like, you're good. I'm going to keep you. So then the feeds go down for a little while because the roof was leaking from all the rain. Ah! Okay, so then later, I hope they fix that. Kayla and Derek had a game chat in the HOH room. Now, they're not blind. They see that their sweet little Paris is close with everyone. She's always talking to everyone. So Kayla's like, she's trying to make sure that everyone wants to bring her to the final two. So, that being said, Derek feels really good about this potential Final Four thing with Will and Paris. And, you know, they still have that old skeleton in the closet of the Final Four that they have with Allie and Liv. And they're not totally counting that out yet. It's going to depend who wins the next HOH and who can get them further. But they feel like, wow, we're going to have to decide if Kayla wins the next HOH. But at this point, they want to get this thing going with Will and Paris. So they're going to keep denying the Final Four with Liv and Allie. What else are you going to do? So then, Derek is just like singing Will's praises, and he's like, Will promised to protect us in the triple, and he said if he wins HOH, he's not going to put us up. If one of us is up and he wins veto, or sorry, if we're up on the block and he wins the veto, he's going to save us. And Kayla's like, he can only save one person. And obviously she knows he's going to save Derek and not her. So Derek is like, it's great. I feel like I have him. And he tells Kayla, I told Will, I want you to be my guy. This could be us. So it sounds like one of those things like, this could be us, but you playing. So ridiculous. So Kayla seems skeptical about it. She's like, I don't know. That trio of Maddie, Paris, and Will, they're really tight. They've been working together for like this whole game. None of them have won anything yet. So we don't even know where their loyalties really lie. They haven't really been tested in that way yet. But they probably want to go to the end together. So Derek is like, I don't know. I think Will and I are really tight. He thinks that Will would save them over Maddie. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? So Kayla's like, okay, but like, Will's a people pleaser, and he tells people what they want to hear. He tells everybody that he has their back. And Derek's like, but I'm a people pleaser too. So yeah, he feels good about it. And then he tells Kayla, I don't know if you knew this, but close relationships between a guy and a girl and a guy can be different. He says he can get bro close to Will, where Maddie cannot. Red flag, Kayla, you got it. Oh my god, Kayla must be thinking at this point, like, holy crap, so you and Will are gonna get bro close. Where am I? You know, is he gonna choose Will over her? Could be. I would be crapping my pants if I was Kayla. So Kayla's like, alright, well, I hope he's not just being all buddy-buddy with you because you're HOH, because that's what he tends to do. But Derek is he's so confident at this point. He thinks that the only way they're going to go up on the block is if Ryan wins HOH. Kayla not as confident because she remembers what happened with Erica. Remember when nobody was like talking about getting rid of Erica and then Kayla put her up on the block and she was evicted? So yeah, to me it seems like Derek doesn't really want this final four per se with Kayla, Will, and Paris. He just wants to bro down with Will, and if Paris comes along with that, fine, because then they were discussing how Paris is in like crazy slot mode and Derek says she's the definition of an LB, meaning little bitch. And they agreed they would love to see her go. They'd be totally cool with that. You're just talking about making a final four with her. What? So they are still kind of like back and forth with what they really want to do. Again, they're in the middle, so it's going to depend on what happens with this next HOH. But they feel like they would have an easier time beating Maddie, Paris, and Will in future competitions. But then on the flip side, they would be so pissed if they do keep Maddie, Paris, and Will around and then they lose competitions to them because they feel like they haven't done anything all game, which is kind of true. So Derek is like, oh, I'd be so angry if like Maddie and Paris were in the final two or whatever. But he says he would be okay with Will beating him. What the F? What has Will done that the other two have not? Because I'm not seeing the thing here. Is it just because he has a penis? Because that's what it seems like. He also says he'd be fine with Ryan winning, but not Maddie and Paris. I mean, Ryan, you can make the argument, like, he actually did shit, and he won competitions, he avoided eviction so many times being on the block, but whatever. So then, Derek says if Allie or Liv win HOH, he kind of want Paris to go. Again, you're talking about making a Final Four with her, but if somebody's got to go from their side or whatever, he'd like to see Paris go. Let's move on, because I've had enough. So Allie and Johnny were chatting in the red room, and Johnny says, ooh, are the twin sisters working any magic for me? Great. Allie says she has some ideas. It's probably a long shot, but before they get into that, she needs to know where his head is really at. So Johnny says, Allie, if you make this work and save me this week, I will have your back over any other deals I've made. You know, with anything that happens in this house, I will have your back. So Allie's like, I'm going to be real with you right now. I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes it's hard to be in a duo with Liv because she doesn't always care. You know, she gets in these moods where she's just like, I don't care. I'm over it. I left my Jell-O salad at home. Like, she doesn't care. So she says she needs to have another person in her corner, another number one who can make things happen with her. Johnny says he can be that person. So Allie's like, wonderful. Let's talk about the ideas. Okay, first of all, Allie is planning on talking to Paris and Will again. She wants to be like, yo, we got the 6 alliance still, even though Erica's not here anymore. We still got 5. So, you know, pull at their heartstrings when it comes to the 6 alliance. And if that doesn't work, she tells Johnny, now this is crazy, you could go to Dayla and try to bait them. Tell them that you want to stay and target me and Liv and see if you can get them to use the veto on you. And Johnny's like, that's not looking very likely, because he already did pitch to Derek just to, like, say that he did it. You know, he knew it was a long shot, but he didn't want to, like, totally assume that Derek wasn't going to use it. But he feels like it's not happening. It's not going to happen. So Allie's like, that's fine. We can still try and get you the votes. If we can flip Derek and Kayla, we'll get Kayla to vote, and then Derek will break the tie. So she's like, just, you know, throw out the bait, see what happens, because this is also going to show her if she and Liv can trust Dayla. So yeah, we'll see what happens there, if he's even going to attempt that. But then Johnny was talking to Will, and he's like, you still want to keep me, right? Will says, yeah. He is lying. At this point, Will has already decided that he wants to vote Johnny out to please Dayla. So Johnny tells him, Allie and Liv want to talk to you in Paris tonight. They want to talk about this vote because they don't want Ryan to stay. So maybe you guys could, like, work something out, keep me around. Johnny says Allie's taking the lead here and trying to put this together. How long until Will and Paris sell her out. I mean, really, this is dangerous. So Will is like, I'm nervous that Dayla's gonna come after us if we keep Johnny. That seems to be like the big con for keeping Johnny this week. The excuse that Will and Paris keep using. So then Kayla comes in and breaks up the chat. A little while later, Allie talks to Paris and Will in the catacombs about keeping Johnny. And she says Johnny can be a really valuable asset to us. He's really humble now because he just lost Erica. He had this crazy week, you know, with the vote. He was against the vote and everything. So we could scoop him back up and reestablish that trust. She says we still have 5 out of the 6. And if we save Johnny, we're still going to have the numbers. If we don't, it's going to be 4 versus 4. Which is hilarious because she's saying it would be Allie, Olivia, Will, and Paris versus Ryan, Maddie, Dayla. You know, Derek and Kayla. Which is like a crazy breakdown that you would never like pair those people off together. It's just, we're really gonna say here that Allie and Olivia are working with Will and Paris as a 4? No. So I think they're all laughing at that on the inside. So Paris is bringing up some counterpoints to all of Allie's arguments. She's like, I don't think we'll have this chance to take out Johnny again. Ryan's a shield for us. And he is also going after Dayla just like Johnny. So does it really matter? Allie says she doesn't want to see Ryan slide all the way to the end. He's already escaped eviction so many times. And there's a good chance that he could just make it all the way to the final 2. So, I mean, it's all the same stuff that we've been hearing. Same arguments on both sides. Paris and Will are acting like they're open to keeping Johnny, but they really aren't. They've already made their decision. It's going to take a lot to get them to flip. But they're like, yeah, we'll talk about it more, sure. All right. So then this morning, they had the power veto ceremony. Derek did not use it, which means that Ryan and Johnny are still up on the block and one of them will be leaving on Thursday. So now it's time to campaign. They've got 3 days left until that eviction, but there hasn't been too much going on today. The house guests have been on an outdoor lockdown for much of the day for some reason, and Ryan and Johnny kind of went off on their own in that tree hallway between the backyard and the hot tub area, and they've just been chatting alone in there for like a really long time. So I don't know what's going on today, but I'm interested to find out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until tomorrow, much love.